Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Hall of Famer Derrick Brooks was lucky enough to have an almost injury-free career, but he still needed some treatment, so he turned to Dr. Dennis Locks from Sports Regenerative Medicine Centers for cutting-edge stem cell therapy, and we are so happy to have them both here this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Locks, I think this is so interesting. We're talking a little bit before the segment, and injury is a big part of the game, but not even that, wear and tear. Here, this man is here, almost unheard of, injury-free, and yet there is still a place for stem cell therapy because whether you're a big-time athlete or not, our bodies are constantly going through wear and tear.
That's correct. The aging process is unkind.
It
and
is.
Just like you get wrinkles, your joints start to wear a little bit. So this particular type of treatment can be useful for just about everybody.
So, Derrick, let's talk about that. I asked you before we got started. I mean, who else has an almost injury? What was your worst injury? Do you remember? Like,
Well, a few pulls here and there, but none of the injuries that caused me to miss a game my entire career. And again, I thank God for that. At the same time, that did not excuse me away from the wear and tear of playing 14 years of contact sport, even longer, with high school and college and Little League does. So when my wrists started to give me a lot of uncomfortable feelings.
That's where it started first?
Yes, it started first in my wrist, and my orthopedic, Dr. Chet Janicki, he was my team doctor at the Bucks at the time. He knew I did not like surgery because I'd never been through it. So during that time, he consulted with Dr. Locks here, and they discussed all the options, and Dr. Janicki was one of the first orthopedics to really embrace this type of treatment. But he was concerned because it was in my wrist, that small a joint. So after a few conversations with Dr. Locks, we agreed, and I went over and visited with him, and I was lucky that he was here in our area, and I didn't have to go out of state or anywhere to go through the treatments. And that's the part I tell Dr. Locks all the time, that I was very appreciative about going through this process that he does with all his patients. It's an education process.
Well, it's new. People are just now finding out about this. I'm sure athletes, like yourself, are not.
I had
familiar with
all
this
smart questions, as he said. There's no dumb questions about it. So he walks you through the process before you even start to make sure you're educated and you're comfortable going through it. So I've been doing it now for a couple of years.
I was going to say, how's it feeling now?
Oh, it feels great. And this last time I had a treatment, I even brought my wife so she can get educated about the process as well. So I do encourage others. Everybody that asks me about it, I tell them don't be afraid, get educated, but more importantly, go see Dr. Locks, because I don't know about anyone else.
And you're right here
I
in
don't
Tampa.
either.
What a blessing to have you here. Well, and you guys certainly very busy these days. We're going to talk a little bit about your foundations. Let's start with you, Derrick, and talk about kind of what's keeping you. The Storm, by the way,
Yes.
Congratulations. Obviously, I know a big game this weekend.
Yes.
But tell us about the charity work you're still involved with.
Well, we plan on bringing back a championship from Philadelphia, so hopefully next time we see, we talk to you, we're champions. But the charity work, in addition to what I do with the Storm, is my passion. I have a love for education, and particularly youth education. So at Adair Brooks Charities, we do a lot of youth education initiatives. People see the big initiative that we do is our charter high school that I'm partners with Mr. DeBarlow and his family. So Brooks DeBarlow Collegiate High School is kind of everyone's jewel when they see our charity work. And again, I tell the staff there and the students, it's not about the 2 names on the outside. It's about the 700 names that's inside. And they do a fantastic job. And the other youth educational programs, whether it's programs with our Juvenile Justice Center and Attorney General Pam Bondi, she partners with us in our educational programs to give kids another option, in terms of being locked up, but coming through our programs to be of an assistance to make them better citizens. And all the self-help stuff that we do with the City of Tampa and the Boys and Girls Club here in town. So I'm constantly on the go looking for opportunities, but at the end of the day, I thank God that He gave me a platform to feed my passion for education.
Well, what a blessing to still have you in the Tampa Bay area and continue to do that for our youth here. And foundations, you're working on one yourself, Dr. Locks. Tell us about what you have going on.
Well, I have had the pleasure of treating patients like we had previously on Natasha, who was told she'd never play soccer again. She had avascular necrosis of her foot. which is a dying bone. And that ended the career of the great Bo Jackson. And so I've had a very passionate interest in that particular disorder, and I've treated several other high school athletes that got college scholarships, and they were told they'd never play again.
Wow.
And so that story is very integral to me, and I've had patients from around the world contact me because usually they're told nothing can be done for them. So I had a Lithuanian gymnast that had no funds, and so we flew her to Beverly Hills and I treated her for free. And so I started thinking I need to have a charitable foundation to try to help these patients who want to continue to play sports that don't have the means. So I'm trying to work on that now.
Well, again, you mentioned LA, but what a blessing to have him right here in the Bay Area again, along with you. So glad that you still call this place home.
Thank you.
What an honor to have you here this morning. And if
Thank
people
you.
want to find out more, I mean, obviously you're treating some of the best, but you encourage anybody, whether you're an athlete or not, to look into stem cell therapy. Educate yourself. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, there is the number to call to find out more information, and certainly the website to find out more as well.